In this video, we're looking at percentages and money. And the first thing we're going to look at is the difference between profit and loss. So when an item is sold for more than it costs, we say a profit has been made, you've made money. Whereas when we have an item and we sell it for less than it costs, a loss has been made. So the percentage profit and loss are usually calculated as a percentage of the cost price. So we're going to look at an example here, and we have Bodie who bought a car for $3,000. He spent another $1,500 on repairs and then sold it for $6,200. So first thing we need to do is look at how much has Bodie spent altogether. So we know he paid $3,000. So the total cost is going to be obviously how much he paid for the car. So that's our $3,000. But also the repairs he had to put in to get it working. So another $1,500. So the total amount Bodie spent was $4,500. The next question asks the profit made when he sold the car. So when you're trying to find profit, it's how much you sold the car for minus purchase price. So for us, we know we sold it, Bodie sold it for $6,200. But his purchase price, including the repairs, was $4,500. So he has made a $1,700 profit. So we now need to determine how much percentage profit he's made. And we do that by putting our profit and we're dividing it by our purchase price. And as always, when we need to convert a fraction to a percentage, we times it by 100, our magic number. So we know we have 1,700 profit. We purchased the car for 4,500. And then we put times 100. Which gets us 37.7777 ... percent, which is really just 37.8% profit. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at is GST, or goods and services tax. So this is a tax paid to the government on most goods and services that we purchase. So in Australia, the GST is charged at 10% of the original price. And luckily for us, it's included in advertised pricing. So when you walk into a store, you don't have to look and find and determine how much extra you're going to have to pay on the advertised price. It's included in it. So if we have a photo frame and it's selling for $31.35, including GST, we need to now find the GST and what the original price was correct to the nearest cent. So if we're saying that GST is 10%, we're going to use the unitary method here. This is what I would suggest using, the unitary method, which I cover in an earlier video, which I'll link in below. So what we need to know first is we know that 110% is our $31.35. So I'm going to divide both sides by 110 to find out what 1% is. Now that I know that, if I'm trying to find my GST, I know 10% is our GST, and I know our original was 100%. So all I need to do is I need to multiply this by 10 to get my GST, so 0.285 times 10. And to get my original cost, it's going to be my 0.285 times 100. So my GST is $2.85 and the original cost was $28.50. Alright, so I would be using the unitary method. So to recap the video, remember the difference between the profit and loss. If you're making money, so you're selling the item for more than it costs, you've made a profit. If you're selling the item for less than it costs, you're making a loss. A percentage profit is usually calculated as a percentage of the cost price. So that means we're dividing our profit or our loss by the original cost price, or how much we paid for it. Now remember, GST is our goods and services tax, and it's a tax paid to the government. In Australia, it's 10%.